Welcome to part 3 of capacitors. In this video, we're going to show you how you can use a digital multimeter that may not have, even though this one does, if you had a multimeter that did not have the ability to measure capacitors, you can, at a minimum, using voltage, determine if a capacitor is worthy of holding a charge, if it works in that fashion, by using, in this case, we're going to use a 9-volt battery, which is a good thing to use because it's below the threshold of any problem. I don't have to wear any safety gear. I don't have to worry about it. And remember, when we're dealing with capacitors, the very first thing we need to do is remove it from the circuit or isolate it from the circuit and discharge the capacitor. And I have fully discharged this capacitor as I showed you in the very first of this series of videos. And so it's fully discharged. And what we're going to do is drop down here in a minute and I'll show you how you can test for the function of the capacitor just using voltage. I've got our lab all set up, and as you can see, I've got my 9-volt battery and I have alligator clips and leads connected to it, and I am going to put a charge on this capacitor, and I don't have to worry about safety gear, remember, because this is such a small voltage and such low current values. And so I'm essentially charging the capacitor right now, and it's driving all the electrons to one plate of the capacitor, and when I remove the charge, it should remain. And that's what we're going to test. Does this capacitor hold a charge successfully? So I've charged it. Now we'll remove the leads, and I'm going to wait for a couple of minutes, and we'll come back, and when I do, we'll take a voltage test and see if it held a charge. Okay, we're back, and we're going to see if our capacitor held a charge, and I'm not going to pay attention to polarity. It will discharge no matter what I do. It may show negative on the screen of the digital multimeter if I have reverse polarity, but we're not concerned about that. So the first thing we need to do is go to voltage measurement mode, and with the decline, in order to get to DC measurement, because this is a DC measurement, we have to then hit the select button, and we'll change here. And now it's good for a DC voltage measurement. And let's see if this capacitor is functioning and accepting a charge. And you can see it is. It's showing 9 volts, and you can see it dropping. What you're witnessing is the voltage actually discharging through the meter, and it's showing you that you do have a functioning capacitor. Thank you so much for watching our 3-video series on capacitors. We appreciate you visiting with us. I want to reiterate, if you're working with capacitors, especially when you get into larger capacitors, make sure that you fully discharge them, and if you have not, make sure you wear your personal protective equipment before or while you're discharging them, and make sure that they are discharged before you do any measurement or do anything with them. Thank you for watching us. Be sure and like us and hit the subscribe button. We'll be dropping new videos weekly, usually on Sunday nights. And finally, visit us at takingmeasure.net. We have a lot of content there and also a book available.